Hey, welcome back to the Virgo Channel. My name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for you all. Know that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. All right, let's jump right on in today. New to the channel, know I like to look at everything. So we do look at the spiritual blocks of shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes within your experience. If you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. You know, if I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath, if I did, just reach out to me through my email with a few days and times that work for you. And you can find my email address in the description box below, along with all the other important information um, about the channel and where to find me. And I will email you back with the day and the time and the actual link. So you don't have to say, where is the link? How do I get on? I've never done this before. Because that's what people normally do when they're like, I won, but I don't know how I'm getting on. It's like, it's really easy. I just send you a link. This way you'll know. All right. Oh, this is not even the deck that I want. That's not my wound deck. Where did I put the wound deck? See that? It's right here. I feel like somebody is all over the place. I was having a hard time being grounded right now. Why would a person have a hard time being grounded? Again, they're thinking a lot. They're very emotional. But this could be you or your person. Let's see again what the underlying energy is and what your person's doing opposed to why they're doing it. Right? So a lot of times when we're looking at the shadows, a person doesn't come from their truth. They come from their facade. Want to, again, like have people think a certain thing about themselves. Again, powerless, but the truth of the matter is they're powerless. So if you're wondering why this person isn't coming towards you, it's because they feel like they can't. And I feel like they can't because they just went through a major transition, and that major transition, they lost all their money pretty much. So they don't feel as if they can. However, I feel like how this person represents themselves is that they're really confident, that they don't have a care in the world, that it's so they're coming across almost like a little bit arrogant, like, and I feel like you're in separation from this person and they do want to talk to you. However, I feel like they don't come to you because whatever they're showing people is not really like where they are right now. They are, again, making it perceived that their life is really good, that they're happy, that they don't have care in the world, and that's not the energy. And I feel like it's because they lost all their money. You might have gone through a divorce, a separation, lost their business. Like it's something major within their life has changed. And so I just feel like they're like, I can't really come to you because, first of all, I didn't treat you well. And I'm going to come back into your life and have nothing. It's like this person feels like they don't have anything to like offer. And they also feel like there's nothing that they can do. The next solstice or equinox will bring an important shift for us. I feel like they think during the summer. Like this person always like procrastinates and says later, later, later. Um, and it's because, like I said, they want to come into your life and have something to offer. They they know that they can't navigate the relationship the way that they did prior, which was to, breadcrumb, to, not really offer anything. Like, I feel like they would promise, but not really deliver. They played a lot of games. They didn't really know what they wanted. This person knows what they want now. The difference is that they don't have what they had. And there's a part of them that doesn't want you to see that they don't have what they have. because then they'd have to explain what happened, what transpired, and they don't really want to do that. It's like, but they long to sweep you off your feet and shower you with love. It's again, they miss you. They look forward to being able to talk to you. I think that they hold on to that. It gives them like an incentive to work harder, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I think you're beautiful inside and out, and I see the light that radiates from your soul. Can you inspire this person to make the changes? I can't validate our love in 3D until I understand our spiritual love in the 5D. Give me time to explore the strong partner, to explore this aspect so I can be a strong spiritual partner. So again, this person, they care a lot about like how they are represented, and I feel like they were seen as someone powerful. They were seen as someone that um, was, I don't want to say like a pillar in their community, but they were strong. They were, and people depended on them, and they did play a part in their community. Um, but I wouldn't say that they were the main pillar, but I think that they contributed where they could, that they were always trying to like do something, and people after a certain amount of time, they kind of won other people over by all the good deeds that they've done, and whatever past this person had, it was again like washed over. However, I feel like that this person is back, went back through a karmic cycle, and being that they went back through a karmic cycle, they were no longer, again, that they lost everything. And so here it is, there's someone that really cares about stuff and really cares about possessions and being seen as someone powerful and someone that um, I feel like never really looked at the spiritual realm. I feel like they might have been religious at one point, but then, or grew up in a religious family and grew away from that. They themselves didn't have a relationship with God. They were not spiritual. They were not, they just again solely learned to live their life from this lower consciousness. And so here it is that when they met you, I feel like they were like, yeah, I like you, but I have a lot of options and I don't really want to be in this type of relationship yet. It's like they had kind of like you said, a big ego. And now that they don't have anything, they still want to be with you. And so what they're seeing is that this is a strong spiritual connection. However, the spiritual connection leads this person to have to think about their emotions, which is something that's not comfortable for them because they did not navigate their life through that. They again navigated their life through a lower consciousness. So the thought of you brings up a lot of the things that they need to heal. But then here it is, they have all this unconditional love for you. And they're like, I can't walk away from this connection, even though I want to walk away from this connection, because this connection is making me like look at myself. And a lot of the things that I'm having to look at, I don't like. And so there's a sense of, I want to be with you, but I also don't want you to see where I am right now. I don't want to have to explain what happened. I also don't want you to see me as being powerless, of not having. This person associates power with money when really they're not strong within themselves. That's why they feel powerless. See, expand your concept of what a twin flame is. It's more than romance, it's a deep soul activation to heal in order to embody love and light. So, again, they're exploring this spiritual connection that they have with you, I believe, in separation, right? Because, again, they say the next solstice. So, there's always a sense of, I'm going to fix it, I'm going to come back, I'm going to. But it's again that this relationship is hard. as I said, soul activation, well, in order for it, the first part of it, usually, unfortunately, is a dark night of the soul. It's a lot of tower moments. So I feel like this person went through a lot of tower moments. That's why they don't have any money right now. And that could be for, now I don't know why I'm feeling this, but I feel like one person makes a lot of money and then they go to the track and they blow all their money. They have a gambling issue. So again, they're in the dark night of the soul because of that. Others, again, just get in their own way where they sabotage their life by running around with multiple partners. Others just can't. Again, it's just behaviors, different behaviors. That is why this person is powerless now, but they almost had to become powerless and feel so small in order to tap into their emotions, to really acknowledge this relationship. It's like almost like they treated you like the pink elephant. Like it's you're in the room, there's a lot of feelings, but we're not gonna feed it too much. Now that this person is in a different place, there's a real desire to want to be with you, to heal, to be good enough to be with you. And so they when it says expand the concept of what twin flame is, that it's more than a romance, the deep activation is created by the passion. Yes, it is. However, it's to heal, and it's to heal the spiritual blocks, the childhood traumas, the really, really suppressed emotional energy that made this person like bound to their addictive behavior. And for you, as well as whatever spiritual blocks that you have, like of working through your shit. And I feel like you threw yourself into your career, but there was still a process. It was still a grounding process. And where I don't feel like you were disciplined before to actually do this, because it was either be bound to someone that you can't be with, and they're so cocky and they don't really know what they want, and they're built their life on a facade, where they were never going to let you in. Be stuck with that, so to continue feeling pain and hurt because that's what it would have been, or throw yourself into yourself. That's what you did. This person, when you did that, their life crumbled. They're not the same person. That's why they feel powerless. It's like now I have all these feelings and I have nothing. There's nothing. So I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. So really they have to transmute that, those misperceptions of the mind, which is I'm not good enough without my money. I can't be loved without my money. I feel powerless because of my possessions. I don't have possessions anymore because I don't have anything to offer anymore. I feel like I'm not enough. That's what this really is for them. They feel they're not enough. And I feel like it's embarrassing to feel like they're not enough. So they don't show anyone that. Again, this person was associated with doing good things within their community as being seen as a certain person, like more, they were identified more with the facade because they never let anyone that close. They had their behaviorisms that I'm sure people knew about, but it was more that they were seen for the good things in their life, and that's not what it is now. So, like I said, the concept of the twin flame is to transmute those really stubborn and difficult spiritual blocks. So, which like is really hard to do because there's trigger, but your twin flame represents unconditional love. They also are the other half of considered the other half, but there really is no such thing as a half a soul. It's just where you are blocked, Virgo. This person has gifts. That's where they thrive in, and where they are blocked, you have gifts. So it seems like you two together balance each other out. Again, would make up one whole perfect person because you both excel in one area and just are really like are spiritually blocked in another. So, when we're blocked, it means that we're just stuck in a perception. And we've never had the opportunity sometimes to be able to see ourselves any different. And how you manifest is through the thoughts that you think and emotions that you have. And so, again, what makes us change, because survival mechanisms from childhood wounds means that we tend to be like locked into only wanting to see things our way, tend to only do things our way, and we won't even try another way. That's a survival mechanism of what's familiar, when really what spirit does is it brings you someone that is your exact opposite, your polar opposite, that has the same wounds but dealt with life differently. And so they excel in that one area. And together, like I said, you both help each other. And that's why it activates, it's a soul activation. It's like it's a relationship that the divine brings in. And it makes sense because obviously this person like went through a dark night of the soul because they lost everything. They're not the same person who they used to be. It's like I even believe that a lot of the people that they were associated with are not even in their life anymore. They don't identify with any of those people. They're a new person. And that's when the twin flame comes in during a transition in life and after the ego has been stripped. And that could happen from a big loss. You might have had a big loss, Virgo. You might, again, there might be a lot of big transitions in your life right now. You might have lost a lot of your friends all of a sudden. It is the year of the dragon. And I feel like Virgos got of like, or one of the main zodiacs that were affected by the dragon. So, you would have might have lost a bunch of friends, had to change, had to move. It's again major transition where you're not exactly at the best point of your life either. You're a little bit vulnerable because whenever there's a transition, what happens is how strong we are within ourselves that we can handle that transition. So root chakra imbalances when we don't feel strong within ourselves, well, then it's usually pretty turbulent. So a lot of times spirit will bring people into our life again so that we're a little distracted, and we're distracted through the fact that there's passion and unconditional love. And that's because, like I said, both parties have had to have done a little bit of the work, have had wanted to, and have their intention has got to be, I want to heal. I look at your social media, even though I tell myself not to, it haunts me because I miss you so much. So again, that's what's really going to make this person change. Because they're going to get to a place where they're like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm like stalking social media, and it's because I feel like I'm not good enough. And pain makes us do, love, and with it mixed with pain makes us do like things that we normally wouldn't do. I have toxic people and situations in life that keep me from being with you. I'm too weak to fight it. I feel like that is, again, the powerless too. It's like, even though their life has changed and is completely different, it's like, for some, I felt like they got rid of toxic people in their life. Now, here it's also saying that, well, there's also some people that are still lingering and your person still isn't 100% strong to, cut the ties. I'm living the consequences of my bad choices. I lost you, and now I'm desperate to get you back. Think that this person is like, again, watching you on your social media. I believe that they're going to get so uncomfortable. So here it is. It's like they want you, but they're holding you back. And the thing is, they say, again, I have to trust this connection spiritually, something that they don't really understand because they haven't healed enough to understand about spiritual connections and, about their own healing and the bigger things in life aside from, coming from a lower consciousness. And they're trying to control this relationship. Right now, I feel like they're still trying to control it a little bit because it's, again, I am too afraid to let go of what I know. And what I know is what I see is what I believe, just the facts, like the foundations of the physical world. Like you may go out, you make money, you can buy things, people perceive you as important if you have, again, that instead of, you know, I have this spiritual connection. I'm supposed to be with you. I just know I'm supposed to be with you. Why? Because I feel like my life would be better. Why? Because I feel like it feels right. They have a hard time validating that. That's why they're like, I have to do more research. I can't let go fully of that old world. However, I feel powerless because I lost everything in that old world. Some people still hold on to me. There's still some toxic connections, but that's because I haven't let go. And that's why they're living the consequences of their bad choices, because it's their choice. I hid my real thoughts and feelings from you. I was in denial and afraid of losing you. I see clearly now. And because again, the thoughts and feelings were on losing you, that's exactly what they're creating right now. I believe, like they want to, because they're fighting themselves. They have to be willing to let go of the old world in order to let you in. And what I see here is it's like this person wants you, but they also like don't want you enough because they don't trust themselves. And it's because they associate themselves too much with that old life, but that old life is gone. So it's almost like they want to live in the facade of what was. You're the love of my life. You make me want to be a better person. I want to be happy and content with you. So this is really, they want again, but they're realizing. So even though they're battling themselves to be like, well, either I'm going to stay here and be connected to people that I'm actually dependent on, but it keeps me stuck and limited and I don't have my own life anymore. Or I leave fully, don't have anything, nothing, I have nothing to offer, I have nothing to give, I have nothing, nothing. It's like this is all I feel like this person's saying, I have nothing, 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 because I believe that they had a lot. And, trust something that is not like 100% like concrete. It's like it's not tangible. It's like it's because I have a feeling. When meanwhile they don't feel good about themselves, so they feel powerless because they don't feel good about themselves, and they're fighting themselves. But love always wins. So that's why I said this person's going to come back. They just don't know when they're coming back because I don't think that in their mind they think that they're coming back. But what I know is that they're not going to be able to hold back. That's the irony because you can't control love. This is a twin flame relationship. This is a twin flame relationship, and they're like fighting themselves and being connected to people that aren't disrespecting them, that is making them feel really bad about themselves. It's like eventually they're going to snap out. That's what I know. I tried to forget you, but it's not working. I always feel your presence with me. I'm magnetically pulled to you. This is what I'm saying. they're trying not to like move. And partially it's because whatever they just went through, and they just again, it was some betrayal, whether that was a partner that they were with, whether they were married, whether it was just a relationship, whether or not it was family, whether it was friends. They went through a major, major, major betrayal, which made them lose all their money. Like the foundation of who they are, like it's gone. They don't know who they are. They're mortified. So this person, like I said, I feel like they don't know when they're coming back. I feel like there's a part of them that's just like, I can't hold back. So like it's an, I feel like that one day they're just gonna wake up and you're gonna find them at your front door, or you're gonna like bump into them purposely. There's gonna be something that happens because this person is trying to control it. They always say later, 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 but here it is too. I think that they also know the next equinox, like in their higher mind, they're like later, 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 like, but later never happened. But again, because they kept fighting it, like they were like, I'm coming, no, I'm not, I'm coming, no, I'm not. And all of it is because of what they believe that they're deserving of. Really, if a person feels powerless, it's because in a way they don't feel that they're deserving. I feel like a lot of the people that surrounded your person, you know, made them feel bad about themselves. Like, like even though your person, like, I feel like did a lot and was nice and didn't deserve it, I just feel like a lot of the people, and so maybe your person did a lot within their work or did a lot to better themselves. And it's almost like the people in their life, the more that they bettered themselves, the more jealous that they got, that there was major consequence. I don't know whether or not, like I said, it was family, whether it was a relationship, whether it was business partner, whether it was something, but this person lost everything. I'm changing this pattern and moving forward. New deck, new deck. So understand, like this person, uh, like is whether they consciously or unconsciously, they're changing patterns because what it is they've gotten so uncomfortable with where they are. It's become more uncomfortable because the people that at one time that they were connected to, that were friends, that betrayed them, it's like it's almost like your person thought that they could go back into a situation and have it revert back to the old way, and so that they can maintain the life that they have and hold on to. It's almost like this person, um, that people were saying, well, if you continue to pay for everything, or if you continue to work here, if you continue, if we can still benefit from you, well, we'll give you something. And so this person was like, okay, well, I'll live that life. And it was so degrading, and it was so that what happened is they're like, and meanwhile they're like, but I long for you. I feel powerless because I don't have anything. They have to get to the place where they realize that uh, things are not, doesn't make a person. And it really, this person like is, I feel like doesn't need any of those people. So the twin flame relationship is actually helping them to change, to see their worth. And maybe they don't see their worth, but what they do know is they say, well, I want to be with you. It's like I have passion for you. And in that, that is why I want to change my life. It's the catalyst to change. But there's a higher reason for that, and that's to help transmute the wounds. We have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? Confusion, these are inner child wounds. So confusion, resilience, that's actually a gift. And we're gonna go vulnerability. I feel like you grew up in an environment where you were taught love is pain. were taught that, I mean, it wasn't calm. It wasn't peaceful. There was a lot of turbulence in it. And I feel like you know, watched your parents struggle. You watched your parents struggle like as how well they got along. You were taught not to be vulnerable because you saw when either your mother or father were vulnerable, they got punished for it. It's like so, and I believe also you were not allowed to be vulnerable, which meant you weren't allowed to have an open heart. And it because again, love is painful, it's very confusing, but it made you strong. It made you not rely on your family to give you that. You had to rely on yourself. So I feel like in this um connection, you stayed away from this person, which has made them, like, again, go through their entire process. And their entire process is, you know, they're broken, obviously. They're broken not just because of what they just went through, but why they got themselves into that situation to begin with. And so when you're attached to someone that you love, that has a lot of wounds. You know, you have to be vulnerable. You have to understand. You have to let this person be vulnerable. Again, and that might be hard for you because no one was vulnerable to you. So again, and resilience is where you continue to believe you don't give up, that you maintain your focus on what you want, regardless of the confusion. And I think the confusion a lot of times is our own inner chatter, like of what we think happened, what we think that person thinks, when really a lot of times that's not what they think. That's our own wound that we're getting that intuition from. So it's really a triggering situation to be connected to someone that we know loves us but isn't strong enough to do the right thing, to stand up. We tend to take it like, how could you do this to me? And we don't let that person be vulnerable because, again, of their own process of, well, I'm really scared. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not strong within myself. No, this person like stayed connected to those people again, mainly for the facade of not wanting to seem weak. And so if here they have such a strong connection to you, and if you are like, don't let them be vulnerable, I think that that would create a lot of problems. When you let people have their process, you actually like build a lot of resilience within the relationship, regardless of the confusion, because it's not about what goes on in the outside world. It's about how we handle the situation. And with twin flame, there's a sense of, oh, this person is triggering the shit out of me. And it's bringing up a lot of stuff because why aren't you strong? Why are you like so powerless when it comes to me? Like, I need you to choose me. I need you to like to step it up for me, you know, when really it has nothing to do with you, it has to do with them. That it winds up when you allow a person to be vulnerable, well, then they do become strong enough to stand up for you. It's like because they're standing up for themselves. It's not even so much for you. They're standing up for themselves, but in the fact that they stand up for themselves, you say, well, they're doing it for me too. And it's like, it's almost like if you loved me enough, you do it. Where you might have grown up and with parents that you were like, well, if you really loved me, you would treat me X, Y, and Z, or you would do, or you would be a certain way where spirit says love doesn't work that way. It's like you put your own labels on love. It's there with unconditional love, God says it's unconditional. There's no ownership, there's no expectation where this person saying, I need to investigate what it is more like, again, the spiritual realm. I need facts. Well, they're going to be there all day, you know, and looking for facts that are never going to happen. And in that is going to create more and more anxiety because they don't want to be away from you. And so the spiritual realm overrides the physical realm. And that's what your person realizes. They're like, this is fucked up. It's like the love has transcended the confusion of it all. Because at the end of the day, I know I want to be with you. This is where they're at. And if it's a twin flame, you're probably like, well, in spite of me being angry and not liking the way that you deal with things, I want to be with you too. So Spirit says, well, let's look at the healing energy because the inevitable will happen because people can't control love. They think that they can. Now, when you think that you can, then it becomes full of drama. And that's why twin flame relationships a lot of times can be really toxic and really difficult because of the triggering. If you're not integrating your triggers and you're expecting that person to change their reactions, it's that thing that you need to change your reaction. That's what you're being told. That's why you're getting this person. So you might be like, if they're an asshole, no, a lot of times it's again not letting a person have their process. If a person comes back and says, I love you, I want to be with you, I realize, but I was scared. I didn't know because, it changing my life and I didn't feel good about me. Are you going to yell at that person or be like, well, you should have did it this way? And that's it. What Spirit says is that you have a tendency to be like, you should have did it this way, or holding back or being, and that creates problems. In these type of relationship, you're learning to be vulnerable, both of you, because you were both not taught in environments that allowed you to do that. So that's why you both have ideas of what love should look like. And again, mainly if the person's not strong in themselves, they're not even going to enter into the relationship because they don't know of it to be any other way. I am light. I always have hope, no matter the ordeal. I have faith in a better future. I turn darkness into light. I open my heart to others and to God, and I am spiritually strong. I draw light to me and shine with all my being. I feel like this relationship is all about helping you integrate your spiritual wounds into light and understand it is a faith walk, but love is the walk here. It's like that gives you the incentive to do it. So it's about always evolving back to this place of unconditional love. Like I turn darkness into light. I open my heart. You know, growing up in an environment where you weren't allowed to be vulnerable, you'd have a shut heart. You'd be like, I can't trust my environment. I don't feel safe. And that's how that karmic theme plays out in your other relationships. Now, this person might have taught you that you couldn't be that way because they resisted the relationship in the beginning. But when they come back, it's about trusting and forgiveness. And that's really hard to do when someone betrayed you. But with unconditional love, a lot of times we're like, oh, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. If I say no, I cut my nose off to spite my face. If I say yes, there's a part of me that feels like it's not fair. And Spirit says you always have to go with unconditional love. And then look to see how you could have balanced out your energy a little bit differently. It's all about detoxification right now. It's again, and the way that we detox our thoughts about love is to actually embody it and to actually be in a relationship and to experience it. So if you have judgments of how your parents loved you, you may find yourself in certain positions now with this person, or again, going to find yourself in situations when this person comes back that makes you understand why your parents were the way that they were. You know, you're also able to see this person differently, understand their perception differently, because they'll explain it in the coming back, and you'll see them dealing with you differently. And that's detoxifying because we're seeing that people can change, people can heal, as long as you give them the space to do so and you allow them their process, space where you're not on top of them and their process, regardless of what it looks like, where you're like, okay, like, why would you stay connected to people? It's like just so that you appear to have more money. Well, because again, they don't feel strong within themselves. They had to get to a place where they were more uncomfortable with losing you than they were about being uncomfortable with, you know, not being seen as a millionaire, not being seen as important, not being seen. They had to let that part of their ego go. And that's hard. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know whether you resonated, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.